Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. Today, we are breaking down a truly disturbing moment from this past Labor Day. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, deeply troubling commentary about President Trump's health. Conservatives are calling it a vile and monstrous statement, and that's exactly what it is. Let's dive in. Welcome to Nelly Miranda. Okay, so here's the clip that triggered the backlash. Tim Walz saying that he wakes up hoping to hear the news about Trump. To me, he's insinuating Trump's death. He's a total maniac. Watch.
You get up in the morning and you doom scroll through things, and although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime, just so you know, there will be news.
Tim Walz really thinks that he is funny with that little smirk on his face. He truly gets on my nerves. Critics says that this was a thinly veiled hint of wishing for the president's death, an absolutely disgraceful joke. And I am so glad that Scott Jennings went on CNN and called him out for his disgusting remarks. Watch.
But I'll tell you who is a complete piece of shit. I'm going to tell you right now.
There have been a lot of swear words at this
Tim
table today.
Walz,
Okay.
the governor of Minnesota, holding up a phone in front of a rally saying, well, we thought we were going to wake up and find out the president had died. Someday it'll happen. Someday it'll happen. I used to say he was the biggest buffoon in American politics, but it's worse now. No political official, no elected official should be walking around saying, well, I'm hoping we wake up one day and the president of the United States has died. Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Just let that sink in. In a moment of levity, depending on your perspective, he's not just criticizing, he is joking about the health of a man who has survived assassination attempts. He's literally saying that he hopes to wake up and hear the news of Trump's death. Like, that crosses every acceptable line. Conservative reaction was swift. House Majority Whip Tom Emmer posted on X saying, wishing ill on others doesn't make you a leader. It makes you small. Minnesotans deserve better. Journalist Selena Zito wrote, Tim Walz's monologue where he pines something is currently wrong with the president's health, then chirps, if there isn't, it's only a matter of a short amount of time before something dire will happen to him, isn't just vile. It shows once again, Dems have learned little since Butler. Johnny Maga also wrote, Tim Walz tells supporters to remain hopeful that Trump will die soon. School children were just shot in a church last week in Tim's state, and this is what he's thinking about. I can't even put into words how disgusting this deranged freak is. I agree with all those statements. Powerful words, and for good reason. This goes beyond just political disagreement. It's a moral failure. Leadership isn't about hoping your opponent dies. It's about guiding, debating, and inspiring. So let's put this into context because this isn't the first time Governor Walz churned up the heat. Earlier this year at a South Carolina Democratic event, he urged Democrats to bully the shit out of Trump, calling him a wannabe dictator and a threat, and claiming that Trump's bring out the worst in him. Watch.
Maybe it's time for us to be a little meaner. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. But when it's a dolt like Donald Trump, you bully the out of him back.
Donald Trump brings out the worst in people, and he brings out the worst in me, because I have certainly never been accused of that with anybody else.
He says his anger is directed only at the president and his approach to politics.
At the same summer DNC meeting in Minneapolis, Walz even mocked Trump's fat ankles, calling him a man-child with cankles. The crowd erupted in applause. He also called Trump a tyrant, undermining the rule of law. Watch.
We wouldn't wake up every day to a bunch of shit on TV and a bunch of nonsense. We would wake up to an adult with compassion and dignity and vision and leadership doing the work, not a man-child crying about whatever's wrong with him. May his fat ankles find something today. Petty as hell.
This is what the crumbling of rule of law looks like in real time. And it's exactly what the founders of this nation feared. A tyrant abusing power to persecute scapegoats and enemies.
These repeated instances illustrate more than political fire. They expose an enduring hostility. It begs a vital question. Can a party that preaches moral high ground reconcile with that kind of rhetoric? At the end of the day, moral leadership matters. You can disagree with someone's ideology as fiercely as you want, but crossing into the line into wishing death on your political opponent is simply unforgivable. And that is where the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party really shows. They like to present themselves as the righteous torchbearers of decency and compassion. Yet, here we see one of their leaders doing the exact opposite. And they're basically like applauding Walz for this. They're like, oh yeah, like they're hoping for this as well. Take a look at this clip.
All right, the speculation around Donald Trump's health is really taking on a life of its own. As I make this video, Monday, September 1st, it has been 7 days since Donald Trump talked to the press. 7 days. You probably know we spent 4 days not seeing Trump at all. He had nothing publicly scheduled. Rumors started swirling. And then everyone was like, look, he's fine. He's playing golf. But the press pool wasn't allowed to see him play golf. He didn't talk to reporters. We only got these super far away pictures of Donald Trump like getting in the car and pictures like this that have recently been released where he just doesn't look good.
The bigger danger here is what this kind of rhetoric does to our country. Political discourse is already spiraling into a toxic swamp. And when one side starts dehumanizing the other, we all lose the basic civility that keeps the democracy alive. That is why we have to stand apart. We can and should oppose destructive policies with every ounce of conviction, but that is not the same as celebrating or even anticipating the demise of those that we disagree with. When Joe Biden was clearly declining before our very eyes, I did not see conservatives hoping for his death. We said that he should step down, and we criticized those around him for elder abuse. Parading a man with dementia around and humiliating him for power is disgusting. And this incident, and many like it, shows how dangerously acrimonious American politics has become. If the party who claims to be full of empathy and compassion can't resist gleeful mockery of mortality, what precedent does that set? But what do you think? How do we restore civil discourse in a time of such division? And do you think Tim Walz is hoping for Trump's death, or are we misinterpreting this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if honest commentary brings you value, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.